If you're looking for a self-hosted note solution that syncs across devices and doesn't rely on someone else's cloud, Joplin might be exactly what you're looking for. Joplin is an open-source note-taking app that supports desktop, mobile, end-to-end encryption, and self-hosted syncing. Today, we're installing Joplin Server on Unraid, configuring it properly, and making sure it's working. Let's jump into it. Now, just to clarify something quickly, the Joplin app stores notes locally on your device. Joplin Server is what allows all of your devices to sync together. So instead of syncing through Dropbox, OneDrive, or Nextcloud, you're syncing directly to your own Unraid server. If you're not running Unraid yet and you're looking to build a home server like this, I do have an affiliate link in the description. That's what I use for everything you see on this channel. Now the important part, PostgreSQL. Joplin Server requires a Postgres database. I'll be using Postgres 17. If you don't already have Postgres installed, check out my Postgres on Unraid guide. The link is in the description. We're going to need to create a database. For example, we'll call it Joplin, and then we're going to create a user and a password. We'll need to plug those credentials into the Joplin template. Let's go create those. On your Unraid server, we're going to go over to the Docker tab. We'll find our Postgres install. I have mine under a folder called Database Services. Once you find it, click on the icon, drop down, and select Console. We're going to be using the command line to create the database, the user, and the password, so follow along. All right, here we're going to type psql, a space, dash capital U, a space, and then Postgres, and then press enter. And you should see it come back with the Postgres equal pound. What that means is that we're now in the SQL shell. So now let's go create a user, a password, and the database. Any typos here are the #1 issue people run into. If you get stuck with database errors or connection issues, just come join us on Discord. There's a Docker's forum section where we troubleshoot this stuff all the time. So if you need help, come join us there. The link's down in the description. Now we're going to create a role, which is the user basically. So here we're going to type create, all in caps, space, role, space, the name of the user that you want. In this case, I'm going to do Joplin, keep it simple, space, with, space, login, space, password, space, then the password that you want. I'm just going to keep it simple here. Don't do this in practice. Use a strong password. And we'll finish off the command with a semicolon. I'll leave these commands down in the description so you can just go copy and paste if that makes it easier for you. Once you have the command in, press enter. You should get create role. If you did, let's move on. Let's create the database now. Here we'll type create space database space the name of the database, which I'll call Joplin owner, and the owner is going to be who. In this case, our user is Joplin, so we'll put in that. Once again, finish the command with a semicolon and press enter. Should come back with create database. Now let's connect to that database. So here we'll type backslash lowercase c, a space, the name of the database, which is Joplin, and then press enter. And it says now that we are connected to the database Joplin as the user Postgres. At this point, we're going to need to grant permissions because this is required on Postgres 15 and above. I'm using version 17, so I definitely need to run this command. The command is grant all on schema public to Joplin. Finish with a semicolon and press enter. Now let's ensure that Joplin owns the schema. So we'll type alter schema public, if I can spell public right, there we go. Maybe public owner to Joplin. Once again, semicolon at the end and press enter. Everything looks good. Once you're done there, type backslash q to quit and then type exit. And that should close the window. All right, now let's go install the Joplin server. To do that, let's jump over to the apps tab. And in the search box, I'm going to type in Joplin server and press enter. Once you find it, go ahead and click install. Now we're going to walk through all the settings that matter. First one is network type, which is bridge. This works fine for most setups. If you're using reverse proxy, you can configure that later. All right, next down we've got web UI and app port. As you see here, both of them by default are 22300. If it's available, leave it alone. If not, then change the port number there to something that's available. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, what I always do is scroll down to the bottom, I expand to show Docker allocations, go back up to that port number, double click on it. I'll hit Control F in the keyboard to bring up the browser's find feature, and it'll show me the results. It's found 4, and you'll see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're looking for is down under the Docker allocations, we just want to make sure that there's not already one down here with that port number being used. If there's not, everything's clear. So the default port is good. You can go ahead and close the find feature now, and then click hide Docker allocations just to clean it up. All right, next here, we've got app base URL. This will be the server IP and port number. So for the IP portion here, just go ahead and remove that with the square braces and type in the server IP that you're using. Here in my demo server, it is 10.0.0.11. You'll obviously put in your server's IP address here. Once again, if you change the port number up above here, you'll have to change it in this app base URL as well. Next down, we've got DB client. This is the type of database. You'll see down below here says PG equals Postgres, which is what we're using, so we'll leave that alone. Next, we've got the Postgres host. This will be the IP address that your Postgres server is on. Mine is on my demo machine here, so I will just take that information out and type in my demo server's IP address. Next down, we've got Postgres database. This is the name of the database that we just created. I had done just Joplin, not Joplin DB, so I'm going to drop off the DB on the end of it, and we'll go down to the next field, Postgres port. The default port number for Postgres is 5432. That's what's put in this template by default, so I'm going to leave it alone. That's what mine's using. If yours is using something else, change it accordingly. All right, next down, we've got Postgres user. This is the user we just created, which was Joplin. I'll leave it alone and move on. Postgres password. This is the strong password that you had created just a moment ago when you're creating your database. I made mine Joplin, so I'll type that in. Now you can see that we are at the end of this container's configuration settings. However, there's a few things we're going to need to add. Now, if you're going to be hosting this for more than yourself, we need to configure the email side. Joplin Server uses SMTP to send account verification emails, password resets, and user invites. If you're the only user, you can skip this entirely and just disable the mailer. And we'll get to that in a second. But if you're running this for a family, a team, or public access, or just want to have it available in the future, here's what you'll do. At the very bottom, we're going to click on Add Another Path, Port, Variable, Label, or Device. The config type will drop down and select Variable. For the name, we will put in mailer. This is going to be in caps, by the way. _ enabled. For the key, it's going to be the exact same thing. So I'll just copy and paste it below. And now for value. If you're going to be running this just for yourself and you don't need email at all, you can just make it a 0, and that will disable the SMTP emailer. If you want it enabled and you want to have the email option available, then you'll set that to a 1. And personally, for the demo machine, I'm going to set it to 0, but we're going to keep going through these fields and we'll add one at a time to get all the email options in there. Once you have yours set, go ahead and hit add. All right, like I said, we've got several more to add, so click on another path, port, variable, label, or device. These are all going to be variables, so just follow along. Next one will be mailer _ host. Once again, copy and paste. Value is going to be whatever your SMTP server's URL is. So let's say yours is smtp.gmail.com. It'd go like that. Once you've got it in, hit add. We'll add another variable. This one's going to be mailer _ port. Oops, there we go. Value. This will be the port number that your email provider uses. 587 is pretty much a default nowadays. Hit add another variable. This one's going to be mailer _ security. The value will be in lowercase, and then it'll be starttls. Add another variable. Name will be mailer _ auth _ dang it, user. There we go. Copy and paste. The value field will be your email address, so go ahead and put in your email. We'll add that. Then we're going to add another path, port, variable, label, or device. It's going to be a variable. This one will be mailer _ auth _ password. Paste that below. All right, for value in this field, it's going to be your SMTP password or your app password. If you're using a Gmail account, then your normal password will not work. They'll require an app password. Once you have it entered, hit add. Next variable, we're almost done. All right, this one's going to be mailer _ no reply _ name. For value, this will be the name that the email will show up as. So I'm just going to put in Joplin Server. Once again, click Add. And the last one, another variable. This one is going to be mailer underscore no reply underscore email. This will be the email account that is being used to send out the notifications, password resets, that kind of stuff. So just put in your email here and you should be all set. Like I said, if you're using Gmail, make sure that you use an app password. Your regular password is not going to work. Once you've got all that stuff in there, go ahead and click Add. Now, after adding all these variables, we're going to click Apply and let the container install. And once it's done, go ahead and click Done. Once the container is running, open up your browser and go to your Unraid IP address, followed by the port number that you had signed, which, like I said, the default was 22300. Or you can go over to your Docker tab, find your Joplin server in the list, click on the icon, drop down, and select Web UI. And here you should see the Joplin server login screen. If you see database errors, then recheck your credentials. If you see a blank page, then go check the container logs, and just to confirm that it's successfully connecting to the database. Otherwise, the login defaults are, for the email, it is going to be admin@localhost, and the password is admin. Go ahead and hit login, and you'll see it goes right into the Joplin server. You'll see this big orangish yellow banner at the top saying that the default admin password is insecure and it hasn't been changed. So click on the change it now to go change it. Full name, you can put in whatever you like. I'm going to leave it as admin. For the email, I'll change that to my demo account. And for the password, you're going to want to use a strong password, ideally something that's stored in a password manager. So I'll put in a super secret password, confirm the password, then I'm going to click Update Profile. If you had set your mailer enabled to 0, then you're all set. If you'd set it to 1 and then configure the rest of the SMTP settings, you'll have to go check your email to confirm it. Once you're logged in, you'll see the admin dashboard. At this point, the container is running, the database is connected, and the server is accessible, meaning your backend is ready. One quick security note before we wrap up. Right now, this is accessible internally on your network. If you plan to expose this externally through a reverse proxy or port forwarding, make sure you're thinking about proper security. Use SSL, strong passwords, and ideally a VPN or secure access method. If you're accessing your services remotely while traveling or on public Wi-Fi, I personally use private internet access. It's simple and adds an extra layer when connecting back home to services. There's a link below if you want to check it out. Whatever you do, just don't expose services blindly to the internet. In the next video, we'll install the Joplin desktop client, connect it to this server, enable end-to-end encryption, and test live sync. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It really does help the channel. If you run into issues or want to show off your setup, come hang out in Discord. And if you want deeper dives into self-hosting and building out your own Unraid stack, consider joining my Patreon. That's where I share extra guides and behind-the-scenes content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.